Elon Musk's journey is not one of overnight success, but rather a story of relentless persistence, fearless risk-taking, and an insatiable desire to solve problems others considered impossible. Born in Pretoria, South Africa, in 1971, Musk had a childhood shaped by curiosity, books, and technology. Unlike most kids his age, Elon spent hours buried in encyclopedias, comic books, and science fiction novels. He wasn't just a dreamer, he was a thinker who absorbed knowledge like a sponge. His imagination stretched far beyond the world around him, and he often felt disconnected from those who couldn't understand his vision. As a child, Elon was quiet, socially awkward, and often bullied. His parents divorced when he was young, and he spent most of his time alone with his books and his computer. While others saw the computer as a machine for games, Elon saw it as a gateway to endless possibilities. At the age of 12, he taught himself computer programming and created his first video game, called Blaster. It wasn't just a game, it was a demonstration of how a boy with limited resources could use his intellect to create something of value. He sold the game's code to a magazine for $500, proving to himself that knowledge could be turned into opportunity. This early success planted a seed in Elon's mind. He realized that his brain was his greatest tool, and no matter how isolated or misunderstood he felt, he had the power to shape his destiny. But life in South Africa was not easy for him. Apartheid-era politics, limited opportunities, and an environment that did not encourage his vision of technology-driven progress made Elon restless. He wanted to go where innovation thrived, and for him, that place was America. Elon understood that the United States was the land of possibilities, where technological advancements could change the world. But before making it there, he had to overcome obstacles. At 17, he left South Africa against his father's wishes, seeking a new life in Canada, where his mother had citizenship. He arrived with almost nothing, no wealth, no network, just ambition and determination. In Canada, Elon worked odd jobs, including cleaning boilers and shoveling dirt, just to make ends meet. He experienced hardship, but he also learned resilience. He knew these were temporary sacrifices for a greater vision. He enrolled at Queen's University in Canada, where his curiosity continued to expand. But Elon wasn't satisfied with just attending classes. He was obsessed with understanding not only engineering and science but also business and economics. He transferred to the University of Pennsylvania in the United States, where he studied both physics and economics. This dual focus would later become his greatest strength, the ability to combine scientific knowledge with business acumen. At Penn, Musk wasn't the typical student. He thought about big problems, clean energy, space exploration, and the internet's potential. While others worried about finding stable jobs, Musk dreamed of creating industries that could change humanity's future. After graduation, Elon briefly attended Stanford University to pursue a PhD in energy physics. But just 2 days into the program, he realized that the real world was moving too fast. The internet was exploding with opportunities, and he didn't want to miss it. Elon made a bold decision. He dropped out to start his own company. It was a huge risk, but it marked the beginning of his entrepreneurial journey. In 1995, Musk co-founded his first company, Zip2, with his brother Kimball. The company aimed to provide business directories and maps for newspapers, essentially what Google Maps and Yelp would later become. At the time, the internet was still new, and many people doubted its potential. Elon, however, saw the future clearly. The early days of Zip2 were brutal. Elon slept in the office, showered at the local YMCA, and worked tirelessly to keep the company afloat. He poured his energy into coding, pitching to investors, and convincing clients of the internet's value. His persistence paid off when Compaq acquired Zip2 in 1999 for over $300 million. Musk personally made $22 million from the sale, a life-changing amount for someone who had once struggled to pay rent. Most people in his position would have retired early or lived a comfortable life. But Musk wasn't driven by wealth, he was driven by vision. Instead of slowing down, he asked himself a critical question: what are the most important problems that need to be solved for humanity's future? For him, the answers were threefold: sustainable energy, space exploration, and the internet as a global force. With this in mind, Musk founded X.com, an online financial services company. He envisioned a future where money could move seamlessly online, without physical banks or checks. At the time, this idea was radical. Banking was considered traditional and untouchable by the internet. But Elon knew the digital world would disrupt it. X.com faced skepticism, but Musk's determination pushed it forward. Eventually, the company merged with a rival and became PayPal. Under Musk's leadership, PayPal revolutionized digital payments. In 2002, eBay acquired PayPal for $1.5 billion, and Elon walked away with $180 million. At this point, Elon Musk could have easily settled into a life of luxury. But his vision was far larger than personal comfort. He now had the financial fuel to pursue the impossible: space exploration and renewable energy. These weren't just business opportunities for him, they were existential necessities for humanity. Musk believed that to survive long-term, humans must become a multiplanetary species. Earth was vulnerable to disasters, natural or man-made, and space colonization was the ultimate insurance policy. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with the bold mission of reducing space transportation costs and enabling the colonization of Mars. Critics laughed at him. Starting a private space company was considered foolish, only governments had the resources to launch rockets. But Musk was undeterred. He poured his own money into SpaceX and set out to build rockets from scratch. The early years of SpaceX were brutal. Musk faced repeated failures. The first 3 rocket launches failed spectacularly, wasting millions of dollars. By 2008, Musk had invested nearly all his fortune, and SpaceX was on the verge of collapse. At the same time, Tesla, the electric car company he had invested in, was also struggling financially. Musk was close to losing everything. Yet, instead of giving up, he doubled down. He believed so strongly in his mission that he borrowed money for personal expenses while keeping his companies alive. The 4th launch of SpaceX's Falcon 1 in 2008 was a turning point. It succeeded, proving that Musk's dream wasn't impossible. Shortly after, NASA awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract to deliver cargo to the International Space Station. This deal saved the company and transformed SpaceX from a struggling startup into a legitimate aerospace competitor. Musk had achieved what many said was impossible: he had made private space exploration viable. Parallel to SpaceX, Musk was heavily involved in Tesla. At a time when the automotive industry dismissed electric cars as impractical, Musk pushed for innovation. He wanted to prove that electric vehicles could be not only environmentally friendly but also exciting and high-performing. Tesla faced endless challenges: production delays, financial crises, and criticism from skeptics. But Musk refused to back down. His relentless pursuit of excellence eventually led Tesla to launch vehicles that redefined the auto industry. By the end of the 2000s, Elon Musk had endured more failures than most people could handle. Yet, his perseverance transformed those failures into stepping stones toward revolutionary success. SpaceX was no longer a joke but a rising star in aerospace. Tesla was no longer a dream but a company shaping the future of automobiles. Elon Musk had proven that vision, when paired with courage and persistence, could defy the impossible.